Raw is entering partnership with Netflix is, first of all, it's in January of 2025. Their contract ends with the USA Network in October, before even the partnership begins with Netflix. So they're going to have to find a home for that next 3 months, Trendsetter. So a lot of options, but one is not going to be the USA Network, as they're not going to extend the deal with WWE past October. So they're going to have to find a home. Now, a lot of people think it's going to be Peacock. A lot of people even suggested, hey, take 3 months off and then just have a reboot in January. But of course, that is
I don't think that's going to happen now.
not going to be an option for WWE at all. I don't believe that would be crazy to do. I mean, that would be really crazy. I mean, obviously, right? It would have like a little first off season they've ever had. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but they need to find a home. Other than Peacock, do you see any other ways that WWE can air their programming without being on USA?
I mean, I think with the deal that they're also doing CW with SmackDown and NXT, I think that would be maybe a temporary solution.
Yeah, well, SmackDown's all be on USA, and CW is going to be on.
All right, CW would be for NXT. Maybe that's a possibility. I mean, I think all arrows point to Peacock. I feel. I just think it's an easier transition from there. It would go from one streaming platform to the other. They already have the network on there too, so I'm pretty sure the episodes would be just on the network and people go watch them when they air. I don't. It would probably be similar to a premium live event in terms of watching Raw. So I think that would be the solution if they want to go to a network. Would be the CW where NXT is now currently, because SmackDown is now home for USA, and like you said, they're not going to extend past October. So I see those two options more leaning towards Peacock for me.
Another thing coming out of this too is, Trendsetter, is that with this move, it doesn't guarantee that it will be Monday nights from going forward. Now, we've watched Monday Night Raw every Monday for as long as I can remember. And it's always been Monday, and it's always been the Monday Night Wars, and it's synonymous with Monday nights. But then you had the point in the Attitude Era where they were kicking, Monday Night Football's ass, and there was nothing like that, period. But now things have changed, and of course, wrestling was kind of put on the back burner. Now you have so many sports and so many things now to watch, so many multiple things that you can do. And Nick Khan went on the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about how they got to deal with the national championship, the NBA, all these Monday Night Football games now that football is so popular now, it's so crazy. All this stuff that they got to deal with here on Monday nights, that there might be a chance for it to move now. It's no guarantee that we're going to get Monday nights. So far, that's the plan. But could you even imagine a Monday Night Raw without being on Monday night? I mean, things change, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, there are a lot of things that I could imagine happening and that they've occurred, right? Hell's frozen over how many times now where I don't think it even exists in terms of all these things we never thought we'd see and are actually happening. Could I see Raw leaving Mondays and going on something else? Yeah, I mean, because obviously it's not called Monday Night Raw anymore. It's just called Raw. This isn't like Friday Night SmackDown, for example. They moved to Friday, then it's Tuesday Night SmackDown, then it's Thursday Night SmackDown. In my honesty, I don't know why they even call it. It should just be SmackDown. When you label it a certain a day, you're isolated to it. So it wouldn't be far fetched to see it. I don't see it happening in the near future. Like you said, Nick Khan was on the Pat McAfee show talking about it, but that's just your bread and butter. I understand, like, you're competing with these other forms of entertainment like football, like you said, or the national championship. But listen, they're not on a network anymore. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They're not on networks. So they don't have to really worry about ratings. I mean, if they're on Netflix, it's not really going to affect in terms of their ratings or viewership. But if they want to move it to a certain day to deal with a certain demographic, I mean, listen, I never thought we'd ever see premium live events on any day other than a Sunday. Because that was the thing. You would see it on Sunday, and then the next night you can't wait for Raw because it's literally less than 24 hours before the events happen the night before. Now it's Saturday. You have to wait a day, another 48. You have to wait 48 hours to see what happens. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's been a huge staple of Monday nights all the time. But again, as I said before in the beginning, things that are staples and things that were like just you thought them without even thinking have changed. So I could see it happening. Don't see it happening anytime soon, but I do see it happening.
Well, there's about a year before they do come on. So, like I said, anything can happen, and the decision's not been made. But again, I would not be surprised if they move away from Monday night. But then you mentioned the ratings, and I don't think they have to worry about ratings. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how they measure the success of this Monday Night Raw in front of Netflix. There's a lot of ways you can you can, measure success, whether it's subs, whether it's, views. We'll see how they do that. But there is a possibility that Monday Night Raw, as we know it, might cease to exist in